everyone, welcome back to the Glass Seats podcast. This is our show where two hockey aficionados discuss their perspectives on headlines surrounding the NHL, including recent stories, game highlights, league culture, and other topics trending amongst the fans. This is Viddy.
My name is Mrinal, and this week in hockey, the big story that everybody's talking about is Mr. Jordan Kyrou in St. Louis.
Yep.
We're going to be starting with that story, and then we got a few coach firings, a few roster moves that we got to get to as well. But let's start out in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Jordan Kyrou. Let me give you the quick summary,
Sure.
actually. So last week on the episode, we talked about how St. Louis coach Craig Berube was fired. We talked,
Scapegoat.
Kind of a scapegoat. Issue with the Blues is more roster construction, and they're competitive. They're fighting for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
But anyway, Craig Berube was fired. After he was fired at the next game day in the morning, Kyrou was asked about his relationship with Craig Berube. His comment, he said, "I've got no comment. He's not my coach anymore." That night, when the Blues were playing, Kyrou was booed all game. When he touched that puck or, made
Even
a
in
mistake.
warm-ups, I think.
Even in warm-ups, whenever he was on the ice.
Yeah.
And the Blues won that game. Kyrou had an assist.
Yeah.
And still, he's getting booed.
Yeah.
So, after the game, obviously reporters asked about it. His comments then, "I obviously respect Chief being Craig Berube," said Kyrou. "He's been my coach the whole time I've been here at the NHL level. I respect everything he's done here. He's done a great job. He won a Stanley Cup, right? All I really meant in my previous chat with Rutherford was I'm trying to focus on my future and focus on what I can do to help my team win. That's all I really meant." And if you guys watch the interview, he was kind of tearing up. He's very emotional, especially seeing that reaction from the St. Louis fans. And then at the next game, Kyrou puts up 3 points and was cheered very loudly the whole game.
Yeah.
So some controversy with his initial comments that he had to clarify, and a lot of emotion shown by Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah. I hate the fact that he even had to clarify this because, I get it. As a guy who played for the coach and he says, he's not my coach anymore, I got no comment, you should kind of know what that means. It just means there's nothing I can do about it. There's literally nothing I can do about it. It's in the past. I'm trying to look towards the future. How many times have we gotten that exact answer verbatim from hockey players, especially when a coach has got fired? I'm pretty sure McDavid said this earlier this year when Woodcroft was fired. Nobody booed him.
Yeah. Well, you don't boo Connor McDavid, right?
Yeah, but you don't boo the guy who puts up 3 points on your team that is offensively struggling too.
And honestly, we talked about roster construction. Jordan Kyrou is one of your best players right now.
I can't believe, I was shocked. If it was just some plug, fine, I get it, sure. But this is like your star player and you're booing. I don't know. If
it was some plug, you wouldn't have been asked.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know. This was left a really bad taste in my mouth. And yeah, I think the St. Louis fans were completely out of pocket on this one.
Yeah, I will never tell fans not to be vocal. It's one of the best things about sports is when you voice your being upset or whatever, right? But I think you're right in the sense that, we preach that, or I shouldn't say we, but in general, hockey preaches that hockey mindset of it's over, move on.
Yes.
Right? And this is exactly what he was trying to do. And imagine if he had said something else, right? Like what if he said, "Oh, yeah, they shouldn't have fired him," or, I don't believe in this new guy. You're undermining the new coach before he even has a chance to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Of course he's not going to say that.
Yeah. I think this was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for Kyrou. And I just, again, I don't know how much I agree with the firing of the coach to begin with. That's fine. But it just blows my mind that he says exactly what you want to hear from fans, and you boo him. And then he absolutely helps your team win, and then all of a sudden you switch up so fast. I don't know. This is just, I think the only person that's in the wrong here are the fans, the St. Louis fans that booed him. Yes.
I don't think anyone's in the wrong here.
No, I actually think they're in the wrong. Yes.
I can understand Craig Berube. He got St. Louis's first ever cup.
Yes.
Right? Like, of course the fans love that coach. And then someone says something that's taken the wrong way. It's like interpreted as, "Oh, I never liked the guy." And then he has to clarify later, right?
Yeah.
But, I can imagine a situation where if someone said, "Hey, I didn't like the guy that won us a cup," you might get booed.
And
he said it without a reason. right?
Right.
This wasn't like a Babcock thing where he said, "Hey, this guy's kind of a dick."
Uh-huh.
You know, he just
Yeah.
said, "Nah, I didn't like him," or it came across as, "Nah, I didn't like him."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like context is important here. And like, this is not just your star, this is one of your star players. And he's saying that I'm pretty sure he's been to an all-star game. And just take a moment to think about maybe where he's coming from. And that's the problem I have here. They immediately went and pointed fingers and was like, screw this guy, you know what I mean? And let's boo him. Even though he's on your team, he loves playing in St. Louis. That's the problem I have. Like, nobody had the patience here to just take a chill pill and maybe analyze the situation and then maybe give a, rational response.
I think asking fans to be rational is a losing discussion.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with St. Louis.
Yeah.
Fans of any team
Yeah.
sport, asking fans to be rational about their own team.
Yeah. We can sit here and pretend that fans aren't emotional or whatever. It's just a game, but like, some people live and die by this shit. So, and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, if you want to boo.
Yeah. You know what would have been a perfect response from Kyrou is, it's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
The Briz Column quote.
That would have been perfect. Perfect situation for this, but no, just boo him.
No, let Briz have that moment. That's
You're
his.
right. Yeah. That's immortal. But I mean, sounds like the fans have forgiven him. I would hope so after putting up 3 pieces in the next game. I don't know. Very weird situation in my opinion.
Before we move off this story, can I just make a meta comment?
Yeah.
Do you see what happens when players actually speak their mind?
Oh,
we end up talking about it.
Yeah.
And this is great.
Yeah.
This is what I want to talk about, not the freaking Department of Player Safety.
Yeah. Like every show we start with talking about, things, and league culture is one of them. League culture, ladies and gentlemen, you speak your mind and immediately get booed for it. So,
I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying this in a positive way of, look, a player spoke up and he created a lot of media, a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Jordan Kyrou, like, his profile just raised up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, were we talking about Jordan Kyrou this season?
No. No. But like, that's the wrong reasons to talk about him, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's gossipy, right? Like, it's just, I love to talk about the highlight reels that he put
that's
up.
not his fault. He said what was on his mind, and we all took it as gossip.
Yeah.
That you can't put that on Kyrou.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, NHL players, speak your mind. It, generates a lot of buzz for your league.
Yeah.
And a lot of positive engagement. This is the type maybe this is a negative light.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if this is positive. Yeah.
I'd say positive in the sense that this is the type of discussion we should be having about a sports team.
So you're saying the problem is there's no discussion at all?
Or the discussion is about freaking, we banned Pride Tape.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. At least now we're talking about relationships between a player and a coach. Yeah. And I just love that because that's what sports is. That's what we want.
Got it. Okay.
This is a hot goss podcast.
Yeah. Got it. I was good. Yeah. Okay. From that perspective, yes. Not exactly the most positive situation, but yeah, talking about something that's not,
actually talking about sports.
Yes, actually talking about something sports related and some stuff that happens in the locker room and not off the ice all the time. That would be nice. Yeah. That would be
Look
nice.
at what the NBA and the NFL talk about. That's what it is all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it's Draymond Green punching a guy.
Okay. Well, let's not talk about it.
All right. Shall we move on to the next story?
Yeah.
Ottawa Senators have fired their head coach, DJ Smith. Jacques Martin hired as interim head coach.
Yeah.
Assistant Davis Payne was also fired. And replacing the assistant is Daniel Alfredson, franchise points leader of the Ottawa Senators. And generally, while previous owner Eugene Melnick was around, Alfredson was kind of estranged from the organization. He didn't really see him. And now with the new owner, Michael Andlauer, Alfredson's here on the bench as an assistant coach.
Yep.
Jacques Martin as well was the previous head coach of the Ottawa Senators from 1996 to 2005 and is the winningest head coach in Senators history.
Yeah.
So bringing back some fan favorites in Martin and Alfredson.
Yeah. Hopefully this one doesn't follow up with some booze, but I think this is like a good thing.
Oh, come on. It's Daniel Alfredson. Yeah. I don't think they're booing him.
Yeah, I would hope not. I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I think overall this is a good thing. And I think we've talked about in the past, about Ottawa Senators being a team that's just like one of those frustrating teams to watch because it's like, just get it together. Ever since 2017, was it the 2017 run? Erik Karlsson's broken foot.
Yeah, to the conference final.
Yeah. Ever since then, it's just been bad publicity following around Ottawa, whether it's just, Matt Duchene drama or the Uber ride or anything. Like, it's just bad. So I feel like almost a clean house is kind of needed. New owners is a good thing too.
Yeah, I mean, talking about clean house, now you fired the head coach, and previously this year you fired the general manager.
Yes.
So this is now
Clean slate.
This is your guys.
Yeah.
So all that drama of, we talked about the gambling accusations. We talked about, the whole contract situation that followed with it. This weird signing of Tarasenko that we were kind of confused about in the preseason. Hopefully that's all gone.
Yeah.
Right? This is your guys. You have to start selling a vision now, and you better do it soon because Senators are last in the division.
Yeah. So I have a question, and do you think this is more of like a turning point? Like, or maybe the question actually is not that this is a turning point, but do you think they should have cleaned house earlier? Do you think they should have got rid of the coach alongside the GM and assistant coach?
Well, the GM, I think, was fired for that specific incident, right? With the Pinto management and all that things that we talked about.
Yeah.
The head coach, from what I've gathered, hasn't been great since he got there. And I think
they were chanting "Fire DJ" the fans for a while.
And I think if you showed up as a new owner and immediately ripped out the guts, I think you might have alienated some fan base,
Kind of like a reign of terror type.
Yeah, but now that they've seen, okay, it's not working, or given it enough time, plus you as an owner now have gotten a few months and you have some standing, right?
Yes.
You understand how the thing works, right? If you just rip out the guts right away, you have the risk of destabilizing some processes, right? Like, I don't know, even at our personal work or whatever, right? We don't work in hockey or anything.
Yeah.
But when a new manager or a new director comes in, immediately changes everything. Doesn't that bother you?
Yeah.
You're like, bro, you just got here.
Yes. At that point, you're like immediately applying for jobs later that night.
Yeah. Because you're like, you don't know if you're going to be next, all that. But now, the way Michael Andlauer has handled this, I think he's gotten his footing. He found out where all the skeletons are. And now he's ripped out the problem areas.
Yeah.
So fine and dandy till now. But now there's also a little bit of a pressure on him that whatever you replace it with has to be better.
Yes.
Because if it's worse, then you lose
you're
everyone.
on the hot seat. Yeah. Yeah. I always did wonder that because for a while there was a, let's call it a protest, I guess you could say, against Eugene Melnyk, previous owner of the Senators, where like fans were fully abandoning the team and the game financially, at least. Like they wouldn't, a lot of empty seats and stuff like that. And they were like, we're not coming back until Melnyk's out. And, it's unfortunate the way the reason Melnyk is not owner anymore. But do you think if he replaces them with something that's worse or replaces them with personnel that's worse, I could kind of see another one of those protests happening from fans.
It'll be a losing hope situation, right? Because, the Senators were always on this wave of, oh, they're about to be good. They're about to be good. Oh, we sold everybody.
Yep.
Oh, they're about to be good. They're about to be good. Oh, we sold everybody.
That's exactly how I feel. Yes.
And if that happens again with a new owner, it's going to be that's going to be breaking for a fan, right?
Yeah. At that point, you're like, as a fan, you have to question why you're supporting. Like, I'm all for fan loyalty. I'm all in on fan loyalty. You stick by the hard times, but this is ridiculous. This is like
you stick by the hard times when there's intention to get better.
Yes. This is just straight up robbing your time and money as a fan at this point.
The way Melnyk ran the team, there was no intention to get better.
Yeah.
It was always like cut costs type of mentality.
It's all money. Yeah.
So Andlauer so far has gotten rid of the Melnyk people.
Yes.
Now, that's what I'm saying. It's going to matter a lot on who he brings in. If it's Martin long term, he still has the interim tag, and so be it. Yeah. But there's a lot of coaches in the market.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you think this is the actual inflection point of this franchise? Do you think things are getting better, or do you think this is this a wait and see kind of gamble?
It has the potential to be the inflection point.
Yeah.
Whether it is or not, we won't know until next year, maybe.
Yeah. Because even with franchises like, let's say Chicago or Pittsburgh, I mean, depending on when you started watching hockey, both of these franchises were on the verge of being no more. Pittsburgh especially was on the verge of being moved to Kansas City, I believe it was. And then a little bit of ownership change here and there, but mostly being saved by, Crosby.
Sid the Kid.
Yeah, Crosby, Kane, and Tays. And these players have saved franchises fully. But there was a clear inflection point you could see. Maybe this is it. Hopefully it's it.
Inflection points are only that clear in hindsight.
Yeah.
We won't, sitting here on, December 19th? We're not going to know.
Yeah. We need a crystal ball for that. Yeah. So, but I do think that there's hope for this. Like at the end of the day, being successful, whatever you want to call that, it's more of a probability, right? And I feel like these are steps to increase that probability.
Yeah.
So
that's what all it is.
Yeah.
So far you've made good steps, but you got to keep going.
Yeah. There's a lot of work to be done, but I think if you're a Senators fan, I think there's something to be said about this.
At least you have a lot of good young players.
Yeah.
Stutzla, Shabbat,
Yeah.
Brandstrom.
Yeah. The guys up top are questionable. There's ambiguity up top, but at least your on ice roster's sick.
It's an entire franchise of potential right now.
Yeah.
And now you have to capitalize on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, you better have the right guys in the right places, and hopefully something amazing can come out of it. So, Hold on, Senators fans. It sucks, but
hopefully just a little more.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I mean, we've said it before.
We've said it so many times, but
so.
Hopefully this is the actual hopefully.
All right, last story for this week.
Yeah.
Antti Ranta, goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes, has been waived, clears waivers, and is assigned to the AHL with the Chicago Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Dell, goaltender, is on a tryout contract with the Hurricanes in his stead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's
Ranta's
tough.
not been good in about, we were just talking about it before we started recording. I think 14 or 15 games played.
Yeah.
Has a 8.5 save percentage.
And he was decent with the Coyotes. I think that was his previous team for a couple of years, maybe at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on the Canes for a while now.
Yeah. Since I want to say it was 21. Yeah, it's probably 21. And because of that, he hasn't really been the same. Obviously sometimes a change of scenery can do great things. Look at Alex DeBrincat. But it seems like it's just done the opposite here, and it's really sad to see this regression because he is a good goalie. But
do you think he just needs another change of scenery?
I don't know. It could be that. It could be a confidence issue. The problem with being a forward or a defenseman, as opposed to being a goalie that needs to change the scenery, is when you screw up, everyone blames you, and at that point, it's a mental game, right?
Yeah,
it's just.
Being a goalie is all mental.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, you're getting rubber disc launched towards your head. That's and you're going to stand right in front of it. That itself is already a little bit mentally, staggering. Let's say, and to see it go in over and over again into your net, that's it's got to do a number on your own confidence and your own abilities. So I don't know if it's a change in scenery needed or if it's just maybe some time in the AHL to rebuild his confidence would actually do him some good favors.
So let me put this out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
I have no sources on this. This is just my brain saying, hey, what if we did this? Jack Campbell, Antti Ranta, 1-for-1.
I could see it because both those goalies really need help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've both been relocated to, or not relocated,
assigned to
the AHL. Yeah.
Salaries are very different.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do some retention magic to work it out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's a difference? Because I know Campbell's getting paid $4+ million, I think.
Yeah, Antti Ranta is 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, quite a lot. So maybe a pick or so. I don't know.
Yeah, or retention to make it even on both sides.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because man, it sucks for Carolina because that Freddie injury is really hurting them right now.
But at the same time, Carolina is a team that we expected to compete for the cup.
Yes.
You got to be able to, you got to have a decent backup.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to talk about the Aaron Dell situation. Is that, so I had no idea about that. Is that a recent development? Is that a,
Yeah, this was a couple of days ago.
Okay.
But this is just a tryout. So he's not signed yet.
Got it.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't even know he was still in the league or if he was.
He wasn't until now.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, Dell has proven that he can handle some adversity and he has, glimpses of being a solid goaltender. And I think right now that's kind of what Carolina needs. And just to stop the bleeding.
Who knows? I think giving him a tryout is fine, but we'll have to see what he does. His last couple stints, I think in Buffalo, weren't great.
I think he was in Toronto. Or did he go from Toronto to Buffalo?
I forgot the order.
Okay.
Whichever team he was there last with.
Mhm.
And then he's also just getting older.
Yeah,
So,
that too.
Aaron Dell, I don't think is a long-term answer.
Of course not. No,
But
he's not.
It's a desperation move.
Yeah.
So this is just adding another team that's desperate for a goalie.
Mhm. What has happened this year? It feels like,
The flat cap.
I guess Boston and New York just took all the good goalies, and
Yeah, Boston's got 2 of them.
Cam Talbot,
Rose from the dead.
rose from the dead. Jonathan Quick decided to leave his team and go to the other side of the country and be amazing again.
Yeah. Like, who knows? You know,
Yeah.
modern goaltending. I think we talked about this when Vegas won the Cup too. Like having a goaltender like a Vasilevsky, who's just great year after year after year, is more and more rare.
I feel like it is, yeah.
You just have to find a goalie that's hot, sign them to a Cup winning team, and go ride.
Yeah. Do you remember when Carey Price was the Dominic Hasek of the league?
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think he fully played out his contract, but I think he retired,
I think he's technically on LTIR, but I
Okay.
don't think he's going to play again.
I don't think so basically he's done is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And he didn't finish his contract, and he was truly at the top of his game. Before he left, he just finished a Cup final.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't win, but the point is he's been amazing for so long. And it's hard to be that good of a goalie for that long. It's just hard.
Yeah.
And so this is where, going back to the whole confidence thing, I feel like maybe Antti Ranta in the HL would actually be a decent, solution
Mhm.
while Dell kind of takes over. Dell is really there to stop the bleeding. So
Yeah. So Dell and Kochetkov is the potential tandem if
Yeah.
he signs. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the timeline on Freddie getting healthy again? I don't remember.
I don't think they've given one. I haven't seen anything publicly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like he's been out since like the first week or something like that, or he's been out since early in the season. So
Yeah. Freddie Anderson only played 6 games this year.
man, yeah, first week or so.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks maybe, but
Mhm.
that's unfortunate. I mean, hopefully GMs can start striking deals. Trade deadline's coming up in a couple months.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna see a lot of goalies being flipped.
They got to move them quick because the holiday freeze is coming up.
What's it?
So during the holiday freeze, GMs are not allowed to trade players for like
that
a
one.
week or
Yes,
so,
yes,
just
yes,
so
yeah.
that they're not moving during Christmas.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
So you could do it then, or trade deadline's not far.
Yeah, I do think we're going to see a lot of goalies being moved. Who knows? Like, do you think Blackwood or something would be big
See,
trade bait or something? I don't know.
You're going to hear about. We banked a few episodes for the holidays where we do talk about Blackwood and some of the other teams, but the Sharks could move Blackwood.
Yeah.
The other name that we mentioned is John Gibson.
Yes.
The
I'm
other
surprised he hasn't been traded yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been saying John Gibson for years.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if you're ever going to do it, now's the time.
Yeah, the potential, the upside of having Gibson traded, especially in a season like this where there's so much need for goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Anaheim should trade him this year.
Yeah. The other one is Karel Vejmelka
Yeah.
from Arizona because Connor Ingram is kind of taking that net. So
Yeah.
maybe you could afford to trade Vejmelka.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, who knows?
Yeah. It's hard to say.
Detroit has 3 goalies. Maybe they get rid of one.
Yeah. It's funny that it really does seem like a situation where there's a couple teams with all the good goalies and then scarcity everywhere else in the league. So, assuming they're actually trying to compete, if you're a bottom dweller and you're intending to be, that's different.
There's very few teams that are true, like out of the playoffs teams
Yeah.
and have a good goalie.
Yeah. So,
Like outside of the Sharks, I can't think of one.
yeah. You think Bennington's ever going to get traded, or is he kind of stuck there now?
I don't know, but they do have 2 goalies in St. Louis,
Mhm.
but they're also not clearly out of the playoffs. They
Yeah.
could go for it.
Yeah.
If they're going to go for it, they're going to keep them, right?
Yeah.
Same with Arizona. They could go for it.
Yeah.
So who is a team that's like completely out and has a good goalie?
Yeah.
The Sharks, maybe Montreal.
Yeah.
'Cause Montreal also has 3 goalies, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll see. If there's anything you should be watching for at the trade deadline, go for goalie watch. I feel like it's going to be a hot one this season.
Yep.
So,
All right. You got anything else for this episode?
no, I think that was pretty solid.
Yeah, and this is going to be our last live, quote unquote, live
Yeah.
episode of this year. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we have recorded a holiday roundup for you guys. To one coming out over Christmas week and one coming out over New Year's week, where we go through each and every team in the league, give our thoughts, and we rate each team thumbs up, thumbs down.
You know what I just realized we should have done?
What?
Instead of giving thumbs up and thumbs down, we should have said toys or coal in the stocking.
Oh,
Dang it. All right, we're going to have to re-record it.
just cut it over.
Just
So it's
cut
just
it all
like
over, yeah.
randomly in the middle, it just says toys.
Yeah, just AI generated. Cool.
Yeah, the TikTok voice.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But yeah, keep an eye out for that, where we're going to do our little holiday roundup. And then we'll be back in a couple of weeks with our regularly scheduled. We'll talk Winter Classic. We'll talk lead up to the All-Star game. All that stuff is coming. So enjoy your holidays, and we'll have some pre-recorded episode outs for you. But this has been Glass Seats. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple, and Google. We're also on YouTube and Instagram. For those last two platforms, at Spud Network Podcasts is the handle, where you can watch this show. You can catch all of our other shows. Wherever you watch or listen to us, if you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, review, rating, whatever it is, helps us grow the show. And enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. We'll see you later.